You know, guys, I wanted to play a Sleepy Hollow clip. I wasn't quite sure which one I wanted to pick, so I said, fuck it. I don't want to hurt my brain into trying and forcing myself to decide this shit, so forget it. Let me just do this off the cuff, because I couldn't. I started laughing when I first read this. Not this article in specific, but the one that I had posted, and I find the timing just fucking perfect. Montreal, listen. Halloween is coming early for me. This is the first time in my life where I actually hear about a head being found in Montreal. I'm sorry. I mean, I could... I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to say it, but I will say this. Life is no fun without a good scare. Like, that is actually fucking true. But you know what's funny, even with the timing of this? Yesterday was the blood moon. I don't know if you guys had even fucking noticed, but yesterday was the blood moon. I didn't do any rituals. I unfortunately crashed, so I wasn't able to fucking see it. But it seems, and from what it looks like in my neck of the woods when it comes to all things spooky, I wouldn't be surprised if some people in the, dare I say it, occult community were doing their business. And I wouldn't be surprised if this head just magically showed up, a few hours after a ritual was performed. Again, I have no fucking clue if that's even the case. But I just think the timing of it, like the day after, is a little bit interesting, so to speak. Again, no proof. It's not correlated or anything, but I don't know when it was found. But I just want to talk about this because you guys know me. I always crap on Montreal, but if there's one thing I will give Montreal credit for, it's not just the food. Well, it's mainly Quebec. Not just the food, but when it comes to our haunting and murderous history. Yes, indeed. I think if you guys do want to visit Montreal, do yourself a favor and do the haunted ghost tours here in Montreal and also out in Quebec City. It was a lot of fun. I kid you not, it was a lot of fun. But this is real life. This is current year 2025, and, we're entering a very weird, absurd timeline. Just in general, but even in this video. Macabre discovery in Montreal is rare, but not unheard of. Why would it be unheard of? Not unheard of, rather. Once again, we've had hangings, public hangings, in the past, way back when. I'm not quite sure how often it would happen, and under what colony? Under the English rule or the French rule? I don't remember. And it would be over petty shit, like drinking and cheating. And it would actually be a family gathering, believe it or not. Today we freak out over Drag Time Story Hour, and yet once upon a time, the most entertaining thing possibly at that time was, hey, let's go see someone hang from a noose. And not only that, but we also had body snatching. We had body snatching at one point. Okay, I'm getting excited. I'll just say this. We had body snatching, not for ritualistic purposes, but for those that were medical students at McGill, you had to pay your tuition. And what would be like a very unconventional way of doing things? Hey, look, there's a fucking cemetery out here at Mount Royal. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, just gotta be quiet to make sure no one sees us. Bring the toboggan. Make sure that the body is nice and cozy. Sealing the freshness. And then we'll do it. Because apparently they weren't getting funding. So they had to, I guess do their dissection some way, somehow. But that's fucking brutal. I love it. I fucking love it. But anyways, let's go. So, a discovery of a human head belonging to a man on the shores of Rivière-des-Prairies on Sunday afternoon. Just in time for the blood moon. Although a very rare incident, it is not without precedent of the annals of criminology and forensic pathology. I cannot necessarily fucking imagine, being a criminologist in this case and just happened to find, like, holy shit, there's a bunch of dead bodies or just heads lying around. What kind of a grave is this? Here's an unmarked grave. Well, he wasn't laid to rest. And listen, where's the fucking body? That's the thing. You found the head. Where's the body? And it's true. You can't just, like, you could go about the investigation, but how are you going to identify the person without their fucking head? That was probably some unknown headless horseman that brought him back to the tree of the dead and someone's controlling them. There's gotta be some rational reason, you know? Montreal, can you imagine being in the fuzz and you're waking up to this shit? Montreal police on Monday sent divers into the river to comb for clues as a pathologist examined the head to determine if the decapitation was a result of an accident or a foul play. I'm not quite sure in today's world how, at least in Montreal, how you just lop their heads off by accident. What, we suddenly have a guillotine that I don't know about? Is that for real? Bro, listen, I understand way back when with torture devices, and again, just a little side note, correct me if I'm wrong, but did the Iron Maiden actually exist? I heard rumors that it was just like a concept, but I'm willing to believe that if some, person had the funding and they knew like a blacksmith, they would have fucking done it. They would have made an Iron Maiden. But way back when, you couldn't bring a guillotine from France and put it on the boats because 1, it's too expensive, 2, it's not practical, and 3, let's see, where are we gonna put the fucking guillotine when it's like minus 35-degree weather? Like, it's really not that practical, but by today's standards, it was a result of an accident. I don't know how that's possible, but alright. Okay, well, let's just... I can't think. My dark humor is coming out. I can't imagine it. The decomposed head has been found in the water for at least 24 hours and was located on the shore near the intersection of Albert Brasseur Boulevard and Drapeau Avenue in Montreal North. Montreal North, you say? Where all the Haitians are? Fascinating. Okay, just putting it out there. The police made the macabre discovery after responding to a 911 call at 3 p.m. Sunday by someone who had seen an inert body part. So the police will actually respond to, but if someone breaks in your fucking house, no, sorry mate, you're on your own. 5 hours later, you might be dead, and we can't promise you if you'll be totally intact because some fucking asshole was pissed off that you were defending your private property because screw your private property guys, and the porch pirates needed your shit. How dare you not respect their privacy, So just for that, we're gonna come in and kill you. No promises made on keeping your head on your fucking body, but just in case, let's have some fun with it. Oh, Jesus Christ. So regardless of the outcome of the police and the forensic investigation following Sunday's discovery, the historical record shows that detached human heads have been found in other rivers over the years. This is the first time I've ever heard of them. But, yeah, that's interesting. At least in my life. In fact, police in Peterborough, Ontario announced in December that they were able to identify a human skull found in 1988 by recreational divers in the bottom of the Ottawa River. But they don't go on it to say, like, why, which is weird. Relying on the latest in DNA testing, investigators succeeded in identifying the Ottawa Riverman as Gerald DeRocher, who had been 38 years old at the time of his death. Police made the public information in hope of solving the cold case. But again, like, why? Like, I like to know why. You're not just gonna have a fucking head just swimming and inert body parts swimming arbitrarily in the fucking river. See, that's the thing. I don't know if they're protecting anything or they just don't want to, give any disclosure unless it's, like, classified, but, like, still, why? Like, why not talk about it? In the 2019 U.S. review of 88 complete decapitations. Oh, yes, I'm very well aware of some of these decapitations. Going back 170 years, researchers found that the main cause was offing yourself. Offing yourself, so how the fuck did you do that? Followed by accident, and then homicide. The ages of the victims were ranged from 32 weeks prenatal to, holy shit, that's fucked up, dude. Like, right towards the fucking, you're in your third trimester, bruv. Like, at least third trimester. To 85 years old, that's fucking brutal. Holy shit. A trend is clear in the matter of death and age, with decapitations occurring owing to seppuku, most commonly in ages 90 to 65 years. The authors concluded in the review published in the American Journal of Forensic Medicine and Pathology. Although Montreal police have theorized the possibility of an accident in the case of a head being found in Rivière des Prairies, they have not mentioned seppuku. But again, like, I'm trying to wonder how by accident, like, how do you just lop a head off by accident? I have an idea in terms of, just hanging out, and after a while, with all that amount of pressure and gravity, it's just gonna okay, kaboom, fall on the fucking ground. Something's gotta give, something's gonna break eventually, but still, I do find that a little bit odd. In terms of, seppuku, yeah, I'm inclined to believe that. In 2011, British police found a human head in the river of North Lincolnshire, confirming it had belonged to that of a murdered man, Adam Vincent, with six people having been charged in his death. In 1999, now we're Y2K era, the U.S. FUS found a severed head of a Navy veteran, Henry Eddie Norrington, that's very, very English, by the way, on a footbridge near James River in Virginia. His death remains unsolved to this... Bro, how? How is that even fucking possible? That's fucked up, dude. In both cases, the FUS were able to retrieve other body parts belonging to the two heads nearby. Oh, jeez. In Montreal, the FUS has not found other body parts as of 3 p.m. Monday, so it's still an ongoing thing. I don't know, for me, I think that's very interesting, but see, this is the thing that I find really fascinating when it comes to shit like this. When you bring in, if there is, ritualistic practices behind this, I find that shit fucking fascinating. Rare as it may be, I still don't understand why, minus the fact that, okay, it remains unsolved. Why? How? The other examples were not necessarily explaining why, and I hope that this story actually does get updated and people find out, okay, yeah, I remember that fucking head near the freaking river out in, close to Montreal North. Yeah, we might have some theories and ideas as to why that is. But I find it very interesting. The day after the blood moon. Very fucking fascinating. Gay Zed, you really made my night, actually. You really made my fucking night. Halloween came early for me this time. Awesome, thank you for that. Peace out.